I'm really hoping that you guys enjoyed the first episode of the Leo Lounge. It was just an introduction to how I would like to keep this podcast on a deeper level. So with that being said, I think I'm going to open up my cards. Last time I told you guys also that had another deck, and this one's called Deeper Connections, and it's 200 questions for couples to strengthen emotional intimacy. And I feel like, well, since I don't have somebody else here to, read these with me, we can just pretend and act like you guys are going along with me. So let's see, what card? Oh, okay, well, I dropped about half the deck, so there's that. Pull from the top. Make this easy. Never a wrong time to start over. People make it seem like starting over is so bad. I don't get what's the bad thing in that. Maybe people are too afraid. Well, that's what it is. A lot of people are too afraid to start over. Get so dependent on how your life had been going for, however long. You get so comfortable on how things were going. And comfortability can be not good sometimes. That could also stunt your growth. And we shouldn't be living in fear anyways. We shouldn't be basing our decisions off of fear or not doing something because of fear. All right, let's look at another card. I might have to I've got a different deck too. Not a bad idea. I thought I was going to wait until when I actually had somebody here to have a conversation with, but it's like, you don't really need to do that. Damn, I'm not saying that I don't want somebody here, because trust me, I get lonely, but you know how you always feel like you got to do things with other people? That's not always true. You can still do those things by yourself. It just would be nice. I'm not saying, but don't let that stop you from doing what you want to do. You don't always have to have somebody right there with you. What do you think my drink of choice is? Well, for those who don't know, I am a caffeine addict. I feel like, I don't know if it is a Pacific Northwest thing, because I feel like a lot of people like caffeine, but hear me out. Living in Washington, where there's a Starbucks on every goddamn corner, you're just bound to be a caffeine addict, just saying. And I'm not even drinking coffee right now, but I am drinking caffeine. So there's your answer, and my point in case proven. Currently drinking an Alani. The flavor is cherry slush, and these are strong. I don't know if any of you guys have had these. They're pretty good, but I've been sipping on it since 8 this morning. Some people go crazy and they drink them super fast. No, I'm gonna, take my caffeine in doses. So that's the only thing that I feel like I'm probably addicted to is caffeine. Caffeine is in my daily life, okay? And I do not want to get rid of it at the moment. So I am not sober from caffeine. All right, let's see. What mannerisms of mine stood out the most to you, if any? Oh man, see, this is damn. I want somebody here to answer that for me, because this is what I mean by I feel like people don't ask enough questions about me. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. I feel like there's only one person that really tells me about me. I love hearing what she says, but I need more. I want more people to tell me what they think about me, and what characteristics and what different things that they see in me, things that I do, things that I say, how I act. But my mannerisms, I would definitely, that would be one that would be really interesting, because I feel like I am, okay, so let's go into a little bit of a backstory. I am a tomboy at heart. I grew up being the only girl, and I don't know if this is why I'm this way. Honestly, I think I'm this way just because I was born this way. I don't even think it had anything to do with me being the only girl or not. I just think, when you're born, you just have certain ways about you. I knew at a very young age that I was attracted to men and women. So very young age, I've always had this attraction. Didn't realize it was a bad thing until, the world told me it was. Anywho's, so I feel like my mannerisms I give off feminine and masculine energy, and I don't know if I'm balanced very well with it. I feel like I am. I'm just being me, but I know depending on my settings, my environment, and what other people's energy is what I'm gonna bring out. So if I'm around a lot of masculine energy, and that doesn't mean, people get this so confused, that doesn't mean to me, okay, everybody has their opinion, but that doesn't mean I'm talking about a super macho man who lifts weights all the time and they're oh yeah, I'm buff and masculine. No, that's not masculine. But someone who is super in tune with their masculine energy will bring out the feminine energy in me naturally. It doesn't even, a lot of times I won't even notice it until I'm in the act of doing it, and I'm oh well, that was different. And then vice versa, if I'm around a lot of feminine energy, women, or not even have to be women, people, let me say people who are more in tune with their feminine energy, I feel like that's where my masculine energy will start to kind of come out. So anywho, anywho's, my mannerisms, I would be really interesting. There's a few people that I would like to ask that, because I would be interested to know what they would say, because I feel like everyone would have a different thing to say, because like I said, depending on who I'm around, different things come out more. Yeah, that would be very interesting. And then like, you know, there's sides of me that people have never even seen. Like, so like if I pull out some of that, they're like, okay, that's why is she being weird? And it's like, I'm not being weird. You just haven't seen this other side of me. Like, what was your first car? Okay, my first car was it an 89? It was old. I think it was an 80 something blue Hyundai Excel 2-door. That was my first car, and it lasted me a good 3 months. I paid like, I think $300 or $400 for that car, and it lasted me 3 whole months. So it was, short-lived, but I had good times with that car. Man, cars have definitely come a long way since that 89 Honda Excel. I can't even imagine driving that right now compared to what I have. So anywho's, today is Sunday the 17th. And it's been a little bit of a emotional day for me. Woke up, felt good, recorded another episode, and I don't know if I'm going to combine these or not. These might be separate because, each time you record, you're kind of on different topics. So I don't want each episode to be like everywhere. I kind of want it to have some sort of format. Not that it really matters. There's no rules here. But anywho's, I was in a weird funk. You know, when you just wake up and you're just feeling weird, something's just feeling off, and you just can't figure out what it is. And I markled my friend this morning and was, trying to explain what it is you're feeling, but you don't even know what it is that you're feeling, so you're really just not making any sense. So I didn't get anywhere with it, honestly. It didn't really help me. And usually when I work through my emotions, I can tend to figure it out, but there are those times where it's just like, I'm in a funk and I don't know why, or I know why and I don't want to admit it. And I think that was kind of pertaining to me today. I knew why I was in a funk, but I didn't want to admit to why I was in a funk, because admitting to that means, I'm not as far in my healing journey as I thought I was. So going into healing journeys, when I first started on this spiritual journey, which was years ago at this point, it's not like this was previously, but it's a journey. So I thought things were going to be, like fun. Like, I feel like everyone that starts their spiritual journey, they have like this outlook of like, oh man, this is going to be great. Like, I'm going to be so happy, and I'm just going to like, oh man, life is just going to be great. And I'm not saying I'm horrible or anything like that. Okay. Don't take my words out of context, but spiritual healing journeys are hard as fuck. Because now that you're awakened to all of your trauma, all of your bad habits, all of like the choices you've made, or just you're so aware, you're hyper aware of everything. You recognize all energies. You recognize when people are acting funny. You recognize when people are using you. You recognize, like, you are so open to everything. And it's like, okay, like all these different things. It's like a battle. Each day it feels like a battle. Well, today my battle was not feeling like I'm good enough. And that's a constant battle I fight. I constantly feel like I'm not good enough. Doesn't matter what I do. Doesn't matter how nice I am. Doesn't matter, when I help people. Doesn't matter if I work really hard. Doesn't matter if I create something really cool. Doesn't matter. I'm never good enough. There's always something that I'm not doing good or not right, or, So today that was my battle. Not feeling good enough for anyone. And I know that is a trauma response. I realize that. I am very aware of that. It's easier said than done, though. You literally have to like talk yourself out of those thoughts. And I know I'm not the only one, but nobody really talks about this. Nobody talks about how, like, especially if you're, I don't want to say especially if you're single, but I feel like when you're single, you have more time to think about these things. When you're in a relationship, it shouldn't be this way, but I feel like this is what happens in society. But I feel like when you're in a relationship, you get so distracted by the relationship that you tend to forget to work on yourself by yourself. And, like, you're supposed to be individually still working on yourselves so you can be better people for, your partner and yourself at the end of the day. But sometimes we get, that gets lost. Everything else is worried about. But anyways, so being single has allowed me to like really hyper focus on a lot of these things. And sometimes it can be too much. It can be too much. And I'm like, fuck this spiritual journey. I don't want to do it anymore. Fuck it. I am the way I am. Like love me or hate me, whatever. I don't fucking care. But then I'm just like, nope. I knew when I chose to do this, it wasn't going to be easy. I knew it wasn't going to be easy. Being on a spiritual journey it's not easy. It's a lot of work constantly. You're checking yourself. You're constantly checking yourself, trying to be aware of your thoughts and how you, act, react, having a lot of emotional intelligence, trying to, read the room wherever you are, trying to, figure out what feels right, what feels wrong. Everything's just heightened. There's a TikTok I had seen and someone had said in the comments, they were like, is it just me or does it seem like everything just, the colors are so much more vibrant, like, trees and like all this stuff. Like I see them more and it's so true. I don't know if that has anything to do with like me just being sober for a long time now or if it is a part of my spiritual journey, because I feel like I appreciate things that others walk past, drive past, like don't even bother stopping to look at. Here in Washington we get mountain rainier views, but only on clear days. So when it's a clear day, I'm gonna stop and look at the mountain, because I know when fall and winter comes around, I'm not going to see that mountain for months, okay? Because it's going to be too cloudy and rainy. Just something as simple as that. Or appreciating, the stars, the moon. We just had a big super moon, the brightest of the year, I think it was. Just that. Like there's so many things to appreciate that I feel like a lot of people overlook. But anyways, back to what I was saying about me being in a funk today. I feel like a lot of people probably think I guess I am genuinely a happy person. I do feel like I'm usually in a good mood for the most part, but then I do have my times and my moments where I am sad and I feel, unworthy. Those feelings don't pass me just because I seem like, a strong Black woman. I've decided this year I am not holding that title anymore. Don't call me strong. It's not a compliment anymore. I feel like a lot of Black women are trying to, fall back into, their softness. Okay, let me start that over. Black women would love to be treated like other women. We're tired of being the strong Black woman. We never wanted that title. That was only, we had to be strong. There was no other choice. But now, today, this day and age, trust me, a lot of Black women are like, nah, I'm stepping all into my femininity and my softness, my gentleness. It is no longer a compliment to call a Black woman strong, just so y'all are aware. Okay, let me lighten the mood slightly, because I know I said chill vibes, but damn. It doesn't have to be that goddamn chill, okay? Let's turn it up a little bit. Let's try from the other deck, because I feel like I'm really liking this deck, and this is like, I'm saying it like it's freaking sponsored. This is only my second video, so obviously I'm not sponsored, but this We're Not Really Strangers deck. I don't know why. It's a cute little deck. It's not like a ton of cards, but it's just enough for me. All right, what we got? What was the first thing you noticed about me when you met? Oh, well, okay. I can't ask that about myself. Or tell you about, why am I pulling the same cards from earlier? Tell me something good, baby. Based on what you've learned about me, what do you think I'm looking for? Bruh. I was doing good with getting good ones. Wow, same one from earlier. Nobody's talking about that again. Wow, it's really pulling. Okay, you know what? All right, I'm going to take that as maybe I am supposed to talk about it. All right, let's see. So this one says, do you think I'm still on good terms with my exes? Why or why not? Well, it's not like I have a ton, but the one recently that we are no longer together, we are not enemies. By far, that's the last thing that we are. We're not on bad terms. I mean, nobody's ever really, really good when you go through a breakup, but I wouldn't say we're on bad terms. So that answers that. Like when you've been with somebody for so long, I don't see how I mean, I know it happens, but like, how do you end up being like enemies to that point? Like you've been with them for so long, you still have to have some like compassion for the other person, like still care. Like I still care for that person. I don't wish any harm, or like I want them to do well. I wish them happiness. I wish them success. Like yeah, like that. Doesn't make sense to me to be enemies. As I just talked up that deck, now I'm not even pulling from it. I'm going to go to a different one. Oh, okay. This one says, how did your parents choose your name? Well, my mom said she chose my name because there was a movie. Actually, was it a movie or was it a book? Well, I know it's both, but I think originally... okay. Yeah, it's a... Let's try this again. Words, use them. Okay, so my mom said that there was a movie called Forever Amber, and she said that the lady on there was like really bad or something like that, and I guess they thought that that's what I was going to be, so they named me Amber, or my mom named me Amber. So yeah, I'm named after the movie Forever Amber that came out in like the freaking 60s or 70s or something like that. I have the book. I never read it, but I just have it just because I knew my mom named me after it. So I literally have it on my Eva Amber. That is me. I don't know. I feel like my name, sometimes I feel like my name doesn't fit me, but I would need somebody to tell me that, because it might just be me. Like, do people feel like their names fit them? That's a good question. What was one of your favorite places to go as a child, and why did you love it there? My favorite place, I don't think I ever really had like a favorite place, but I know I loved being outside. See, this is what's so crazy. I loved being outside as a kid. I was always outside, and I used to get upset when I used to have to come inside, because since I was the only girl basically playing with all the guys, I always had to come in early. And I used to be so mad. I never understood, now I do, but then I never understood why I was always treated the way I was treated. Like, I want to be outside playing with the guys. We're playing sport. God damn it. Like, let me play outside. But yeah, I can't think of a favorite play. But yeah, just anywhere outside playing, I guess. And it just makes me think of now, like, I should really get back to being outside. Like, I'm in hermit mode right now. I don't know if any of you guys feel me out there, but I am in straight up hermit mode like a mother, and I need to stop. I really do. I need to, somebody help me get out of hermit mode. What do I need to do? Anyways, what was your proudest moment as a child? Oh, okay. I remember, which my family probably will not remember this, but I took my training wheels off my bike myself, and I taught myself how to ride the bike. Like, I didn't ask for nobody's help. I might have asked for help, and there was no help. Who knows? But... Or, knowing me, I was such a go-getter as a child. I feel like, and this is just, it stuck with me. I will get things done. I don't need, if you're not going to help me, bet I can do it myself. Pretty much. That's the attitude that I've had since I was a child. And that was it. I took those training wheels off and I learned how to ride a bike. So yeah. What was your favorite board game as a kid? Do you guys remember, Sorry? I don't know if you guys remember that or not, but that was my shit. Sorry. And then I hated Monopoly. To all y'all out there that used to like playing Monopoly, that game is trash. It's way too long. First of all, it's too long. It's too much thinking. It's too complicated. It's too much. It's why I gotta have money. I gotta make money. I gotta do all this. No, that is not fun. That is real life. That board game is too close to life. I pass. What was your favorite TV show as a kid? Oh, there's so many. Oh, what was the one? Is that Wonder Years? What show is that one? Damn, I can't think of which one that was. But I used to watch all the old shows that used to come on, like, was it like Nick at Night? And it would be like Bewitched, I Love Lucy, Wonder Years. What was the other ones? All those type shows. Like, that was before I got into sci-fi. I'm probably not even singing the lyrics right. This card says, how could we add more value to our quality time? Quality time for me, and this is why I like these cards, because it applies, it's not just like relationship. Well, it's like all relationships, you know, like your family, your friends, whatever, romantic relationships. Anywho, I feel like quality time, what adds value to quality time is genuinely laughing. Like that real, like not no fake laugh, like that real deep belly laugh that has you hurting and smiling so hard and crying. Like that'll add value to any conversation for me, honestly. If I'm laughing and like just genuinely enjoying myself, that's a moment. That is a moment right there. Let's see. So this card says, if you could take me someplace you visited before, where would it be and why? So the first thing that comes to mind is a place because of food, and you know what? Whatever. That's not a bad thing. I don't know why I'm acting. I know some people would laugh at that, but anyways, there was this place in not San Diego, in Carlsbad that I went to for mine and my little sister's birthday. Was that last year? I think it was last year. Yeah, last year. And there's this Italian restaurant. Oh my God. And I freaking think about this place and this dish quite often. You know what? I probably need to go back myself. But I got this seafood spaghetti, and I feel like it's such a, like, I feel like it's not a norm. Maybe I'm tripping, but maybe it's just because it was first time for me. I feel like when you think of red sauce, you don't think of like clams and, I don't know, scallops and all that stuff. But this was so freaking good. Like, I mean, chef's kiss, just mwah, like it was perfect. And I think about it often, and honestly, if I had the patience, I would try and make it myself. But at this point in my life, I don't like cooking anymore. I have cooked for so many people for so many times since I was young that I think I'm cooked out. I'm like not even cooking for myself at this point, and it's bad, but I need somebody to come cook for me. That's the answer to this question. Come cook for me, please. Thank you. Make me that red sauce spaghetti with the clams and the scallops. What else did I have in there? I don't know. Honestly, I just need to go on to my Google map and try and find it again so I can get the name of the dish and really just be like, hey, somebody find me a restaurant that makes that here in Washington, or somebody come cook it for me at my home. I will pay for the food. Okay? Thanks. All right, let's see. What advice would you give to a younger couple? Oh, Lord. First thing that comes to mind is don't take things too seriously, especially when you're young. Good Lord. Why do we want to grow up so fast? I don't get it. Growing up is overrated. Okay. Overrated. Take your time. There's no rush. That would be my advice. Okay, I have a question for y'all. So what it takes to have a successful relationship? It's a good question. And my thing is, even if your relationship is successful right now, doesn't mean it will always be successful. And at what point is it actually successful? What signifies a successful relationship? Just because you get engaged, get married, have kids, get a house, like that doesn't mean it's successful. I just think we really, you strip all those things away, and if each other isn't happy, I don't know. I just feel like I can't answer that question because I don't know. Where was the first place I drove after getting my driver's license? I used to go to the library a lot back when I used to read quite a bit. I don't read as much as I'd like to, and I'd get back into that because I used to read quite a bit. And there's books that I wish those were books I bought at the time because I can't remember. That's the thing though. I've read a lot of books, but I can't even tell you what books they were, or the authors. I am horrible. My memory is so bad when it comes to that. So I really wish I would have bought those books because there were some good ones from what I remember. There was a point where I was reading like up to 4 to 6 books a month. 4 to 6 books a month. God damn, bring that one back. And the genre I was reading, it was anywhere between romance, sci-fi, thriller, horror. Man, there were some good books too. I remember there was this one time, it might have been a Stephen King. I don't know. I was reading the book. It was a scary book, and it was like ugly outside, like it was raining and stuff like that. And I remember in the book, it freaking like said it was raining and like ugly outside, and the woman in the book was also reading a book. And then like somebody, I think it was like somebody either rang the doorbell in the book, and then my phone went off. The shit was fucking spooky. Like I was like, okay, we're putting this down for the night. It was getting too real. I'm like, how am I doing the same thing that the woman's doing in the book, and I'm visualizing it, and stuff is happening here and in the book? No, it was too much. See, but that's the thing though. That's why I like reading, because you could literally get lost. You can get so lost in a book, but you gotta have, not everybody has a good imagination. Well, sorry for you guys that don't, because that sucks. Honestly, having a good imagination keeps me going on the day to day. Not gonna lie. All right, how long we been recording? 40 minutes? Wow. Okay. I think, you know what? I might be onto something here. I'm speaking way too soon. Watch like nobody's probably going to be watching these. What? I mean, nobody's going to be listening to these, but I think I might like recording at night better, which kind of makes sense. I'm kind of a night out anyways, and the vibes are completely different at night. I mean, I've got my LEDs on. I've got Lifetime Movie Network on. Not that I'm actually paying attention to it. It's just, background stuff. And then I've got my freaking arcade game going. Sounds off. Street Fighter 2 actually. So it's just a vibe in my apartment. So yeah, I think I'm gonna keep doing these at night, but I think I'm gonna let you guys go. Yep, it's that time. All right, well, I haven't figured out an outro, but if you're new here, which you probably are because this is a new podcast, so that was stupid. But anyways, I hope to see you back here. I was about to do a cheesy line. A very cheesy line. But you know what? It's all good. We can be cheesy. There's no fucking rules, like I said. All right, you guys. Until next time. I'll see you guys later.